Welcome to Plant-Based Large Family. I'm actually going to start off today in our experimental garden. That's where most of the changes are happening. Okay, so we have spinach growing in here, and I did see a few carrots. They're itty-bitty right now. And then my kale's doing great in the shade. You can see a little sunflower here. But since the beans are right here, I'll show you the beans first. The beans are coming up. And then I have cucumbers and sunflowers lining the garden. They're a little small on this side. They're a lot bigger on the other side, but what's also happening, you can see on the other side, is the Bermuda grass is coming up really thick. So, this is the experimental garden. The goal was to not have to weed at all or mow or anything. See the cucumbers, they're getting above the grass, but just barely. So, it's going to be so hard to resist the temptation to mow, but I'm going to try because this is just supposed to be experimental. You can see, I hope you can see, yeah, you can see some of the corn coming up through the Bermuda grass. And then, let's see, over here, I have some zucchini that I planted that looks a little yellow. Might put some chicken manure around here. Even though the chickens were in here all winter, you would think their manure would be spread. But I don't know, I might put some chicken manure in here just to help those along. But that's the experimental garden. Now we'll go to the main garden. As far as the main garden goes, this week was all about planting and mulching. So you can see the dark colored mulch. That is the new mulch. That's what we did this week. Just kind of scan so you can see all of it. As I'm scanning, you can see the potatoes have flowered. So where I have not mulched, right here was where we had potatoes last year, where I mounded it, 8 to 12 inches. So we didn't have weeds come up through here. I'll probably just go through and smooth that out. That doesn't need new mulch. And then right here, I planted corn, so I don't want to put new mulch on top because it hasn't sprouted through. As far as new things, I'm trying to think. Well, you can see I've put a little bit of DE on my potato plants. We're getting some potato bugs. I don't know really what to do about potato bugs other than DE. I rotate my potato plants every year, but the potato bugs always find them, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So this is the area that has squash and dill and nasturtiums planted. And so and this was the area that kind of washed out in the big rain, the 3-day rain. So I just wanted to mulch this. What else is new? I'll show you in a little bit. We've been harvesting from our June bearing strawberries, and we just started harvesting from our ever bearing strawberries. If you hear the shrill pitch in the background, that's our noise makers. So far, it seems to be keeping animals out. Now, we only have the noise makers on the June bearing strawberries. We have ordered some more because it seems so effective to put around the ever bearing strawberries, and I'll show you why. Because you can see something has gotten into these. I found another one lying about. I don't know where it is, but anyway, you can also see that we're starting to get they're starting to kind of trickle in. Hopefully we'll be able to harvest a lot more without having the critters harvest any. That's the goal. It's always the goal. Here's the other section. We actually did this first. We did our tomatoes and peppers and eggplants and basil. This was kind of covered in weeds, so we weeded it really quickly, we mulched it, and we put up fencing for the tomato plants. So that's what we did the first part of the week. And then we went on a day trip, and then it rained another day. And then we don't work on Sundays. So what is that, 4 days? So in 4 days we got all that mulching done. I'm very pleased. I had my husband go buy another wheelbarrow for us, so we had 2 wheelbarrows going at once. That made it a lot easier, or a lot more efficient. I don't know about easier. Okay, so another new thing. I know I showed you these are flowering, but we're definitely getting pods. So I couldn't tell you because I don't pay attention as to, oh, does this mean by next week we'll be harvesting or by a couple days? I just don't know. I just know when they're ready. The kids know because they check every single day. I showed you this last time, but just because they've gotten bigger and they look great, they're about ready to harvest. The lettuce, the spinach. I mean, I could get a little trickle of spinach harvest, but I'm not getting very much spinach this year. And I feel like that's about it for new things. I did a lot of planting, but nothing's come up yet. I guess I could show you my sweet potatoes. They're doing a lot better. And I found out I planted sweet potatoes not only in this bucket, but in this one too. So I'm pretty excited about that. That was very smart of me. I just didn't know I did it. But like here, I planted beans. Down there where I had potatoes last year, I planted beans, planted corn. So just kind of waiting on that to come up. And then this week, the plan is the same as last week, is just to mulch some more. So this section, you can see the dark areas. That's just where the mulch has decomposed. So we just need to put mulch kind of here. We need to put mulch along the edge of the garden because I don't really know why. I mean, probably because there's asphalt there. I don't know, but the mulch washes away more than the rest of the garden, so we get weeds here a lot more than the rest. So we like to mulch it once a year just to keep that down. So yeah, we'll just be mulching this week. And I planted also underneath the hoops for when I'm done harvesting all of my brassicas. I went ahead and planted some fruiting seeds like squashes and cantaloupes and things like that. Planted them underneath both covers. So I'm hoping that the little bit of extra warmth will actually help them to sprout more quickly. That's the goal. So yeah, I think that's it. So we've mulched this week and we've harvested a little bit, and we'll just continue to mulch and hopefully harvest a little bit more each week. And I'm hoping by the end of May, right about when it gets too hot where you don't really want to be in the garden very long, hoping we'll be done mulching. And then we won't have to weed until next spring again. So that's the beauty of Back to Eden. You weed and mulch when it's in the 60s and 70s, so that when it's in the 80s, 90s, and 100s, you're only out in the garden long enough to harvest. So that's one of the reasons I absolutely love Back to Eden method. So I will see you next time. Have a great day.